What's up, everybody? How's it going? How's your day been? Gravity? Good Friday. A good start to your weekend. What's up, Ronnie? What's up, Justin? How y'all doing? How you doing? What's up, B? B with the question mark. B's like, what's going on? Where's my Yakuza? I don't know how to tell you this, Bean. We're throwing Yakuza out of the rotation. It's done. It's up. It's wraps. I know. It's crazy. You're probably thinking, where's my Yakuza? It's out of here. It's gone. At least for this week. I made the executive decision to switch out the Yakuza stream for the Ace Attorney stream because we're basically done the game. We're right at the end, so we might as well wrap this up. Does that mean there's 2 Yakuza streams next week? Hell no. But we'll see. Yeah, how y'all doing? Hopefully everyone's doing well. We're in August now, which is crazy. God, bruh, it's about to be fall in a month, or I guess a month or 2. Next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving and then Christmas. Jesus Christ. But that's neither here nor there. That's just life, am I right? Time will keep moving, and we gotta move with it. I guess let's just lock in, bro. Let's just get right back into it. Last stream, which was Wednesday, we figured out that the person that killed the Babel ambassador was most likely Agent Sheena, who we think could be the Yatagarasu, at least the fake one. There she goes, this Rod. Agent Lang. Lang Z says little cubs never do they know the real fury of the elder wolves. These codes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. And what does that mean? It means that you'll never really know how angry I can get. Mr. Prosecutor. The counterfeit bills made with Babyliss ink. They were all of Zhang Fa denominations. Yes, so I heard from Miss Von Karma. But we don't know where the play money has gone. They must not have figured out that it was all burned yet. Ever since those things showed up in circulation, my country's economy has taken a big hit. Zhang Fa is in a financial chaos as we speak. Because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. That's insane. But it's not just the money. The citizens are also worried. I've staked the honor of the House of Lang on this, and have come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Zhang Fa, and I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. But tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first. And now I'm called to return home without a single answer. Agent Lang, don't start. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Ambassador Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight. Oh, no. It is I who should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Quirkus, you fool. Curse your empty brain. You're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Sheena, let's go. Time to return to our den. Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's not much else for us to do but to go home as well. Oh, we hit him with the hold it. You, Wolfman, and that secretary lady, hold it. Objection, pal. Detective Gumshoe, have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already? Yup, and that note was definitely written by Mr. Cochin, sir. Just as I thought. Good work, detective. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold us up for? Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now that everyone is finally here, Agent Sheena, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. Yes? How exactly did you fail to see the Yatagarasu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Kochin was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. What are you doing asking her about something she didn't see? Agent Lang hasn't touched the Babel investigation at all, so I suppose I'll need to explain a few things to him first. Miles Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours. The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth. Oh, it sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well, I'll supervise you until the end. Is she seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day? You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinates on some flimsy guess, are you? I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you'll see. Did you hear they're planning on getting Google and every search engine to require you to submit your ID for age verification? Yeah, they're planning on making you guys do that. I'm not doing any of that. They're crazy. If they want my ID, they can freaking get a freaking warrant to come to my house and take the ID themselves. They're fucking crazy. Ha! I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end. It would appear that way. Well, I'll prove her innocence. So let's see what you've got, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Who am I then? Anyways, I'll play Yakuza. With pleasure. For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babel, and establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Agent Lang. I assume you've been briefed on Kay's testimony. You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw? That's right, that person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Yatagarasu. Pretended? And what do you mean by that? I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to review what Kay's mystery person did. Kay, if you could please explain for us what the person you were chasing did. Okay, you got it. I first spotted the suspicious person near the open air stage on the Babel side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase. For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person the Yatagarasu. Now please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor. Can do. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Babelese embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Kochin's office. I gave chase and ran into the room. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light, but then... Ah! Who's there? By the time I turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared. When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang? What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl under the cover of darkness. Objection! Sorry, but I know for a fact that the person didn't escape through that door. Oh? And how do you know that with such certainty? That's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through the door, they would have ran to this person. It would have been her, right? Because she was outside.
Take that!
Your answer is Sheena? Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kei screamed upon discovering Mr. Coach's body, the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent Sheena, who was in the next room over. Erg. Agent Sheena, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question? No, I didn't see anyone. You see? Therefore, the Yatagarasu could not vote. It just means that the creep slipped out before Sheena made it into the hallway. I doubt that, as there was another person in the hallway, a certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at that time? Me, sir? Well, when I heard Kei scream... I ran towards Mr. Coach's office from the opposite direction of Agent Sheena, sir. So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. You nailed them with just an explanation of what happened. Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken. Ha ha ha! I get it, so that's where you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out. Precisely. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, is it time to bust out with our revolving fireplace wall explanation, right? No, not quite yet. Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time. The revolving wall on the Babyliss side is known only to 4 people, and if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end. What's with all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics? Nothing of the sort, Agent Lang. Come, let's continue where we left off. That smug, haughty attitude of yours. You really rubbed me the wrong way, you know that? Well, no matter. I figured out you already anyway. The only other possible escape route besides the door is the room's lone window. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu's escape? I guess Detective Bad must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible. Now I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly. Are you sure about that? Of course I know that. That's bloody common sense. Besides, I never said I thought that photo to be of the Yatagarasu's escape route. I suppose not. Alright, then explain yourself. The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kei was chasing after. You can say whatever you would like in whatever language you want. But there's only one language I really understand, the language of evidence. Very well then. I present to you proof that the person Kei saw is not the same as the one in the photo. I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell I'm going to show them. I mean, we could show them this and just say it was like some random ember or like burn thing that popped off. Because that's what it was. It was the fire on the 3rd floor, wasn't it?
Take that!
Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Kei saw. Kei spotted the Yatagarasu headed for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken after the 1st fire. Exactly. Yeah, way to go. That's twice you've bit him in the butt now.
Not so fast.
We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is. And how the Amaterasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you? Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet. Ha! As I thought. However, the Atagarasu's escape route, now that I can answer. Well, you can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on, enlighten me.
Hold it.
Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up the Albacian investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you have much knowledge about the Babyliss side of the case. So, wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent Sheena, explained in my stead? Sheena is my subordinate. If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss? Lang, it's alright. I can take care of him. Sheena, you've shielded me a lot as my boss. But it's time for me to prove my worth. Alright, if you're okay with it, then you have my support. Finally, it's down to just Agent Sheena and myself. This is where the battle really begins. Now then, what is it you'd like to ask? Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Babyliss embassy? During the first Babyliss fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Amaterasu that had appeared in Babel. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Amaterasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Amaterasu even exists. And that is all I have to say. But I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Coach's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony. Good. Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation? No, I moved alone. In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi, is that correct?
Not so fast.
Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic. And it wasn't when Agent Sheena tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale? He did get caught there. And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner? Not that it's unexpected for that useless lump to get into such a situation, although I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected. I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation. You should apologize right now for making Kay out to be a killer, pal. I'm sorry. Sheena apologized. She about to be like, no, oh damn, I'm sorry. It's really okay, I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, I never doubted you, not for 1 second. And the same goes for me. I believe in Sheena. Then let's put that to the test and see if she really is worthy of your trust. Heh. This promises to be interesting. It's gotta be that statement where she says she was next door. Because if bro didn't jump out the window and he didn't jump out the door, he had to go through the fireplace. And if he went through the fireplace, Agent Sheena should have saw him. But because Agent Sheena didn't see him, it means that she was the one who was, you know, went through the fireplace. Being in the room next to Mr. Coach's office is the problem with your testimony.
Not so fast.
Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all. Agent Land, do you recall the secret we discovered at the Albacian office fireplace? Huh? Oh, how you mean it connects to the office with the room next door? What about it? Well, Albacian isn't the only country with the secret connecting fireplaces. What? The fireplace in Mr. Coach's office holds the exact same secret. What? The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. What the heck? Now do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have ran straight into Agent Sheena. Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu. Ayah! What is the meaning of this, Miles? Well, would you care to explain, Agent Sheena? How you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu? Or shall I? Your claim that you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? The truth is, you were the one Kei saw in the coat, pretending to be the Yatagarasu, and you were the one she chased after. As you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Coach's office and headed for the fireplace. Then you shed your coat in the next room, leaving it there to emerge as Agent Sheena. After that, you came back around to place Kei under arrest. Does that sound about right? If not, then speak now or forever hold your peace. How dare you make Kei look like the bad guy when you're the suspicious one, pal? What is she doing? Sheena? Hee 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 hee. Hee hee. Nah, she's actually tweaking. What the hell? Oh, it is the same person. They got the same laugh. So this has to be Callisto U, right? That laugh. Now they're hitting the same emote. I remember this irritating laugh. Brr, I'm getting chills down my spine. It can't be, but it has to be. Sheena, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry, it was so funny that I couldn't help but laugh. Funny, you say? Yes, that you would accuse me of being the Yatagarasu. The prosecutors of this country really are all so very strange. Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off? You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's that prosecutor who is. Look, everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. The Yatagarasu fled through the fireplace? Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding the Yatagarasu's escape route. The tone of your voice, you're taking with me now has certainly changed. That's because it's been a while since I've had this much fun. I think I'll let loose, and then we can have a real battle of wits. For an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind, it's a great honor. Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know. I know, and that is why I won't hold anything back either as I answer your question. My question? Here's your proof of the revolving fireplace in Babel was used recently. What can we use as proof? I mean, it's the fact that there's ink on this freaking thing here. And even, didn't he say? Yeah, they used the fireplace earlier today to burn the stuff down. I mean, burn those papers down. What's up, Nizo? How's it going? I say we just use the fireplace, because we can literally go in there and see the ink splatter from when this guy spilled shit on it.
Take that!
I'm sorry, but is this really your honest answer to my question? Yes, according to Ambassador Polino's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Kochin. Oh? The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so they should have been there. However, when we went to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there. Why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned them up.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Ambassador, Polino said that he forgot to. And so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatagarasu went through the fireplace wall, the ashes were pushed into the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Coach's office is my proof. I'm chilling, you know. Same old, things could be worse, but it is what it is. Hopefully you've been well too. And just what is so funny, Ash as proof? Are you even allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court? You still wish to fight us? Of course, why wouldn't I? In that case, let's hear your counter-argument. My counter-argument, huh? This really is just like being in court. What's up, Ronnie? How's it going? Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago. Wow, I have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't matter if we're at a crime scene or in court. Let's finish this here and now. She's still underage? No, that was 7 years ago. Now we're back in the present, and right now I think she's like 20-something. No, never mind, she's 19. I suppose. I've had a lot of fun today, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. I'm still refrain. Honestly, yeah, because 19 is still pretty damn young. In my eyes, all you've proved is that the rotating fireplace wall was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yata-Garasu used the fireplace now, can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Kochan's office. And there you have it, my counter-argument. It look... Got you. Now that does look crazy. No, you know, we'll just take that out. We'll take that out. There we go. You know, we'll take this out too. There we go. No problem, no problem. There you have it, my counter argument. Arg. That's very impressive. She's seen through the fact that I've yet to gather the one piece of evidence. What is it, Kay? I haven't heard a peep out of you in quite a while now. If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us. But Kay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yata-Garasu name, are you not? If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off it. This chase you're running to catch the truth, you must see it through to the very end. Mr. Edgeworth, you're right. I will see this through to the end. So, you go get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth. With pleasure. Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it? Sheena, please, show me you're someone I can trust. Don't worry, this will be the deciding match, you'll see. I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Sheena, shall we begin? I mean, okay, so what does she even say? So, in my eyes, all you've proved is that the rotating fireplace was used. That's true. But you can't really call that proof that the Yata-Garasu used the fireplace now, can you? That's fair. So then who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our thorough investigation. So then... I hit the wrong button. And we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Coach's office. Okay, so it's gotta be this. What did we find in the office that they didn't find in the investigation? I mean, I guess the wire. That was in the freaking clock. Nobody knew what that was about. And then we know the bills were burnt up too. And that's why freaking the whole freaking green firewall happened. I think if we just say the wire, we should be fine because they missed this, which means that they didn't figure everything out. And I think she was the one who was she was the one who was investigating the room too. And since nobody found the wire, she hid that, right? And I don't know why she hid it, but it's weird that this didn't come up in the investigation. So it's gotta be the wire. It's gotta be the wire. Alright. While you say that you and your agents have finished your thorough investigation, are you absolutely certain that you didn't overlook anything? Well, aren't we full of ourselves, standing there insulting Interpol agents? You better not be insinuating that my men are incompetent, Mr. Prosecutor. I mean, they kinda are. I'd never do that. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did overlook something. I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire. Look at her sweating bullets. And what exactly is this supposed to mean? A length of wire? So what about it? I'll tell you what. We found this in the Babylonis embassy not long ago. What? And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cochin's office. You found that at the scene of Mr. Cochin's murder. But this wire wasn't all we found. We found one other very important thing. There's more? In Mr. Cochin's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there. What in the... Ayah! That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right? So what if it was? Ah, that's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Okay, but what about the wire though? The wire is concrete proof. Screw the freaking fire. The fact that the wire was there means that you were hiding stuff. Come on, bruh. Marvels did the meme? What do you mean they did the meme? What is that? I don't even know what this is. Why is Blade giving the shark a freaking high top fade? Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills? No. That's an official emote? What the heck? How did that shark grow hair? You see, so there was nothing in that office, nothing that you can call evidence anyways. I'm sorry, but I seem to have given you the wrong impression. He just did, he just growed hair randomly? How so? I don't recall saying that I was presenting evidence of any sort, but rather I was pointing out that your investigation was incomplete, and that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yata-Garasu. You still suspect me, I see. Alright then, I asked that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete. The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent Sheena. And it's not possible that the reason... Is it not possible that the reason the person K was chasing chose the 3rd floor was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor? Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Sheena was only pretending to be investigating the Yata-Garasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there's one location that no one has yet to inspect. Oh, the other room! That's a good point! Now that we know the rooms are connected, we have to investigate the other room, right?
Take that!
The location, Agent Sheena, is of course the room you claim to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Coach's office warrants a thorough inspection. Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there. I'll be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir, I'm on it. I'll be right back after I check out that room next to the office. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you really think that Machina's the Yatagarasu? Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is. Everyone can get a high top fade notion. You can too? Hey, man. I've had my days. Well, I never did a full-on high top fade, but I've had like tapers before, and you know, leaving the top with more hair and like cleaning up the sides. But it's been a while since I had a haircut like that. Then I'm not gonna let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu. But can you prove that she's the Yatagarasu is the question. If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find, then I should be able to. What is he even gonna find in there? That's the thing. Because realistically, if she really is the fake Yatagarasu, wouldn't she clean up all the evidence in that room? Unless she's dumb as hell, in which case, she's cooked. It's over for her. How you feeling, brother? I'm okay. Same old, same old. Things could be worse, you know. I feel that's been the theme for me the last year, honestly. That things could be worse, but you know, we'll see how things go. How have you been? How y'all doing? Hopefully everyone's doing good. Hopefully y'all are staying safe, bro. I heard that New York is now considered a subtropical like area because of all like the crazy weather and like the flooding and shit, bro. Insane. Every day I tell myself that, every day. The weather has been insane this summer, honestly. Between the freaking heat waves and the humidity and freaking like now the flooding going on. Jesus Christ. I've been wavy. A canoe? Is it that bad? Like are like streets like full on flooding? God dang. And just what are you hoping he'll find? Let's just say this. I had Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier. It's overstated? Oh, okay. Thank goodness. An experiment? As if that detective has the brains for high science. It wasn't that mentally taxing. I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu. And what did you find out by doing that? First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and Babyliss ink. Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway. Ah, but is it really worth so little? I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I'm about to prove. Mr. Edgeworth, I've found some things you really need to see, sir. Certain underground train stations are flooded, but of course that'd be, yeah, because they are underground. Makes sense. Best thing Japanese ever did was put a drain pipe in every bathroom. Now that is true. I feel like, yeah, it's crazy when you think about it, because I feel like that should be like a standard thing, especially, you know, when you get out the shower and like, you know, you be getting water on the floor and everything. I feel like it would make life easier if we all had drain rooms, like drains in our bathrooms, on the floors at least. It would make like cleaning and drying things up way easier. Oh, so what are these things that you found? Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir. You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one that the person I was chasing was wearing. Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent Sheena, were these pieces of evidence not in that room when you examined it? Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room. Nah, she played herself. Why would you say they belong to you? I mean, I guess it would have been revealed anyways, like if we did like like some forensic like examination on them. Being able to fill the tub to get in and not worry about the overflow, right? Oh my god. Or you know how sometimes the shower curtain be holding you and moving around, and sometimes the water gets out? You never have to worry about that again, because you know the water's going down the drain. Man. Aw. Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now? Hell no, you're not getting them back. Are you crazy? These items that the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them. They're my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission. Are you crazy, bro? You're under investigation for freaking murder, smuggling, counterfeit bills. We have every right to.
Objection!
I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation, but if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this. I say let him look at your stuff, Sheena. Lang! Sheena, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right? I guess so. Alright, go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. Almost makes the giant wasp and earthquakes worth it. Not gonna lie, them still using the Phoenix hold it kind of lame. Sometimes they switch it out for other people's voices, but I do wish it was consistent, but you know, it is what it is. Good. Now let us begin. So which of Agent Sheena's belongings are you going to examine, sir? I mean, it's gotta be the coat, because the coat has to have the ashes and the ink on it, right? Let's examine the coat. Yes, sir. Yeah, she played herself. Agent Sheena. Look at her sweating bullets, bruh. The Amaterasu that Kay saw was wearing a coat, and I'm beginning to wonder if this stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace. Aha, no, you have it wrong. That soot probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire. And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat? Oh, I didn't realize that the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it's just some water mixed with soot from when I was helping with the fire. I don't think so. You think you can get away with such a transparent lie? Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. This is the same pattern of dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace. Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know? So unless you can prove that that dirt on my coat is from the fireplace, which I can, how? Oh, 'cause the ink. You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe. Huh? Me, sir? What did I do? This coat. This is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find the coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. And thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace was solely a coat. I don't quite get what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise, sir. All that remains is for us to show what the dark substance on the coat hem is. Oh? And you think you can do that? I mean, we easily can. If we know it's the Babyliss ink, we just gotta set the coat on fire. If we set that coat on fire and it burns green, she's done for. Of course I can. This is the dark substance that's sullied the hem of this coat. Where's the ink? Easy.
Take that!
Babyliss ink? Yes, this is what will prove that the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Polino, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning. You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again. My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on this coat turns out to be Babyliss ink, it will prove that you and this coat went through that revolving fireplace. Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet. But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Babyliss ink on the coat hem. Oh, but I do. And I intend to show that it is ink in a few seconds. How? How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I'll prove that the dark substance on the coat is Babyliss ink. Yeah, we gotta burn the coat. We gotta burn the coat. We can find out whether that is Babyliss ink or not by lighting it on fire. That's how you're gonna prove that it's Babyliss ink? Yes. If you could please cut a section of that dark stained area for me, I'd appreciate it. Because I will show you here and now what the dark substance is. Sheena, sorry to do this, but I'm going to have to cut off a bit of your coat. Go ahead, I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyways. Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something. Oh, I've got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs. And if you could please, if I could please have one, Kay, we can get this equipment underway. Or this experiment underway. Of course it's green. The flame! It's the same color as the flames Wick Crystal Oil produces, which means Babyliss ink is a product of Wick Crystal Oil. And when lit, the ink produces a green flame. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing. Miss Sheena, you're the fake Yatagarasu, the one who killed my father. It's about time you came clean, Agent Sheena. Or should I say, Callisto you. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, you're not serious, are you? Do I look like the joking type to you? Aha! Callisto you? I've never heard that name before in my life. That manner of speaking and that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years. You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday and then tried to frame me for it. Oh really? And you have proof? You insist that I am this Callisto you woman, but you can't prove it. If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me.
Objection!
The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived and it will reveal your true, ugly form to the world. Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto you? I don't think we do, bro. What are they talking about? I do? When did we get that? It's something the second Yatagarasu was preserved. Oh, the perfume bottle. How does that link to her, though? It's not like we still have fingerprints or something, unless she's wearing the same perfume, but even then, that's kind of a hard thing to pin on her. Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth. I will, Kay, for we have finally come to an end. We'll prove her to be Callisto you with this and clip the Yatagarasu's wing for good. Is this really gonna be enough?
Take that!
This perfume. This will prove you to be Callisto you. It will? Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle. This belonged to Miss Yu just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on here as well. This is that bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. Damn. I heard from my father, I still don't know how to say his name, Bjorn Friday, that if stored under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades. I didn't know that. Burn? Somebody speaks those. Which means that your fingerprints are still on here, every last one. We can clear everything up if you were to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Sheena, will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test? Aha! Hee 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 ha ha hee ha ha ha. What the heck? She's tweaking. She turned into a real demon. It looks like you've seen right through me yet again. You're sending the biggest chills down my spine, Edgeworth. Callisto you. So you've shown your true face at last. This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than that time 7 years ago. Sheena, you're... Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man. So you were a spy all along, a mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after. Someone who's been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time. Very good, maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought. Callisto Yu, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. That's right, Callisto Yu. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Great Thief Yatagarasu. I thought she was a fake. Callisto Yu, this time you won't escape, for this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly. You know you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kei Farade. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was. Kei, don't! I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father. You really are just like him. Mr. Farade, too, possessed such laughable honesty. Oh, shit! Gun to her freaking head? Oh, it's over. It's over. She's gonna die. Somebody help her. Ah, you let Kei go right now, pal. You despicable. Let go of me, you filthy You think I'm a fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. But that's impossible. My father was the one who created Little Thief. Hey, Edgeworth. The Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is? Why it has 3 legs? I don't freaking know. There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. No, it can't be. Did you finally figure it out? Do you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu? The real identity? I don't flippin' know. Okay, so let's think about it. If she's saying that she's the real one, and Kei is saying her dad's the real one, maybe it's neither of them. That or maybe they were working together. Because he was a prosecutor and she was pretending to be a defense attorney, right? So maybe that's how they got all the info. I'm gonna say neither. The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Burn Farade nor Callisto Yu. But by that same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu. How very perceptive of you. No way! The single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed. Mr. Edgeworth, No, I refuse to believe this. The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer would have the opportunity to learn the layout of planned corporations. Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu also always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal. And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence. Ever. Oh shit! He brought his gun out! Nah, this is tough. This is crazy. Detective Bad! It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind, because the lead detective on the case hid it all away. Wait, he was in on it too? They were a 3-man team this whole time? Okay, then why is he snaking her? Well, I guess he has to snake her because, she killed, The prosecutor guy. I guess, were they in it? Okay, well, I'm sure they'll tell us, but I guess initially they were in it to expose bad people, but then she started tweaking. She's like, nah, this is not enough excitement for me. Wow. No, but he's going to jail too then. This is so, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of stupid. And the reason this is kind of stupid is because if you were the third leg this whole time, that means you knew this person. Why didn't you do anything for 7 years, bro? You're telling me 7 years you couldn't catch her even though he was partners with her the whole time? Come on, bro. That's a little ridiculous to me. L team. And you know what's crazy? Ads. Y'all got hit with ads. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry y'all got hit with ads. I apologize. You're the third member of the Yatagarasu? You. I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years, but I finally got you. Aha! Why Mr. Bad? Long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. If you were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Why indeed? It was nothing personal, really. He was just another person I had to kill. How can you say that? I grow weary of this, and it's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss. Stop! You! Is Kay dead? Oh, it's over. What's up, Phoenix? It's over, Sheena. Oh, he got shot in the leg? Yo! Okay, Agent Lang. Dang ass, don't worry. You know what? I'll wait the 2 minutes. I'll wait till people are back. Nah, this was crazy. This was kind of... I never would have expected that they were a 3-man team this whole time, bruh. The fact that Detective Bad was in on it is nuts. I still don't know how he could have found her for 7 years. I still think that's crazy. The fact that he fumbled that badly, but still. Wow. Wow. Who would have thunk? Still waiting for these ads, man. Golly. What the heck? Dang, the thing is though, if she gets arrested, I mean, he probably knew he was going down with her whenever he ended up finding her. Wow, but you know what's crazy? And what I'm thinking about now? Even if they arrest her, does this prove that she killed the guy? Because just because she ran in that room, it doesn't mean that she killed bro, right? Don't we still have to prove that too? How does all that work? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out, but welcome back from the ads, everybody. I thought Kay was going to get shot in the head, but Agent Lang saved her. In the process, he got shot in the leg. Agent Lang! Grr! You idiot, what were you thinking, jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? I'm sorry, Detective Badger, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her, not even from you. You really are an idiot, you know that? Ha! That's fine with me. You should know by now that this is just how I am. Hey, sis. Yes? I want you to conduct a full body search. Sheena might have another weapon on her. Alright. Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please. Sir! Hey, I found something. Oh, it's one of the missing knives. What is this, sir? It looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle. This is a great find, Detective. Huh? It is, sir? Let's try pairing this blade with this handle. Oh yeah, it's gotta be this one, right?
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon. Hey, they fit together perfectly. This blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched. I'm gonna go return this Babyliss knife now. Alright, I trust you'll make sure that it's returned to Ambassador Polino. I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it. Callisto Yu, for the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Coachen's murder. Aha! Which means that you must be Mr. Coachen's killer. You killed Mr. Coachen with the Albastian knife, switched the handles, then took the original blade of the Babyliss knife with you. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kay near the open-air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that about sum it up?
Objection!
Oh. You craft an engaging tale, Edgeworth, but there are two problems with it. What do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? It was all so I could capture Kay Faraday. What? When I saw you using that device at Gatewater Land, I knew right away that you were Byrne Faraday's daughter. Aha, I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagarasu. So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Coach's murder on me. Yes, I knew you would show up at this embassy tonight. So I thought to use you, but putting the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes, once I had you under arrest, I planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You were going to take Little Thief away from me? 7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key. Then the person who stole the Yatagarasu's key was Mr. Faraday. That incident 7 years ago. What was the catalyst behind it? In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment. Then why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu? Why? There is no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean? The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now to this day. Does this mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Coachin? Then the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings. Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're going to tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Sheena? I guess I should tell you, then, that I was the one who set the Babyliss embassy on fire. And why did you do that? I suppose it was to destroy all the evidence of the counterfeit bills. That was what the smuggling ring was trying to do, but then, why start two fires? Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation after all. I've had my fun. Now it's your turn to enjoy the ride. Wait, I mean Sheena. Yes? When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell on my feet. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, that I should return them to you. You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot, Edgeworth. About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight. I knew it. I knew she was going to say that. What? I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will. Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, Agent Lang? Mark my words, I'm not done here, and I'll be back. And it's got nothing to do with duty or anything, because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be. His anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain in his injured leg. Oh, is that supposed to be him limping? It's finally over, Kay. I feel like I peered into her heart a little, you know? And it's so cold and dark and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all these commands, the one who thought my father was a problem to be removed, that person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring. Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Jammy Ninja show. But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome. I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There's a bit of soil stuck on these on the ends of these sticks. Soil? Oh, I guess it's that time already, huh? So it's midnight, the dawn of another day. Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You've really done a lot for everyone all these years. The night of bad, don't tell me today is the day. Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire. You're not retiring? Isn't he going to jail? He's a criminal. It was down to the wire, and we almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything. But that's just it. We haven't solved everything yet. The ringleader of the smuggling ring, you, the Yatagarasu, were chasing after. The legend of that Yatagarasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier, it was brilliant. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you. Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also part of the Yatagarasu? As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you. Uncle Bad? Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right? Unfortunately, it isn't. Oh, come on, sir. She's just yanking on my chain, isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth? Detective Bad, wait. No, you are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu. Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, here, I should give these back to you. These are... the pages from the my KG8 file. Oh, so it was him that stole them. What the heck? Wait, what? Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night. So the Yatagarasu who stole into my room was you, was it? Wait, and that means what? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir. It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. Okay, that's whatever. Why are we acting like we're not going to arrest this guy? Bro, put some handcuffs on this criminal. This guy just revealed to be in the Yatagarasu, or one part of it. He just revealed that he broke into your office, stole information, shot a gun. Lock this guy up, bro. What the fuck is he doing here? We got bigger fish to fry? Nah, bro. We're taking everybody. He's not safe. The KG8 incident, it was a very emotionally trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Farade as the prosecutor and I as the lead detective. Ferrari had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. Yu was the elder sister of the victim and oh, so she really was? I thought that was all fake. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. That's how we formed the Atakarasu, and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings companies had with the ring. But you guys were freaking finessed, bro. You had a spy among you the whole time, and then he got bodied, and now you're going to jail, stupid. Including companies that dealt with the ring, the Amano Group, Mr. Amano's conglomerate. We called ourselves the Atakarasu and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we'd find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart, and Ferrari, he died for it. But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG8 incident? After Ferrari's death, I looked into her past, and that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG8 incident, CCU, she never had a sister. What? Then that means Sheena wasn't the only fake name she used. Callisto Yu was another pseudonym. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring. She said it herself, I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file. Please use it wisely. Trump card? That photo that we stuck on there, try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Ferrari hid away all those years ago. It's the mark of the Atakarasu, but why? This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Kochin had on him at the time of the KG8 incident, 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss CCU. But why is the card adorned with the mark of the Atakarasu? The reason why we called ourselves the Atakarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggling ring's boss used. Apparently orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently, it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze. Ah, Babyliss ink. So you mean that the cards were written in Babyliss ink? The fact that the card that Kochin was sent made it into Ferrari's hand at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police. So that's what those white cards are. The great thief that used that mark that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader that we were only a few steps behind. Damn. And one more thing, Detective Gumshoe. I'm entrusting this to you. What is this, sir? This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG8 trial, Ferrari had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence. But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it? The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano, and he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally after the other day's kidnapping case. Damn! This video. What? Don't come any closer, I'm warning you. This is the same video as the one Mr. Portsman was trying to conceal from me. Yeah, it would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday. and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. Oh, you saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence. Then the card was not the calling card of the Amaterasu, or rather a director's card from the ringleader, Mr. Portsman. Dang. Yeah, I mean, it better connect, bruh. Because we already knew Mr. Amano was sus, but I was like, what did that prosecutor have to do with it? And now we know why. The two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them. The evidence Mr. Portsman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is... Whether you use them or not is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who is above the law. Is the boss one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Bad? There's no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them. You still insist that even now? You really are something else. I leave the rest in your hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Amaterasu. Finally, bro! Like, good work giving us all the evidence, but you still gotta serve your time. Pops, don't ever lose your detective spirit. Pops, why is this happening? This isn't justice. Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now let's go. Yes, sir. Nah, this is crazy, bro. What the heck? Is this really the end of a legend? Damn. So now we know who the Amaterasu really was, and yet there remains much to this case that needs to be resolved, like how the weapons cross country lines. For example, the two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. Short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in, huh? We will need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do that, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Unnecessary evidence has been removed, remaining evidence has been rearranged. Hey, there's a VCR here, sir. Now we can see what's on that tape Detective Bad gave us. This piece of evidence from the KGA incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us. Sure thing, sir. Should we be doing this in the middle of a freaking embassy? Manny-Kochan. Nah, what is this, bro? No way they caught bro in 4K with a knife in the card in his hand. Nah, he must have been shooting a YouTube video, bro. Because there's no way he walked in with a knife and nobody said anything. Everybody was like, oh, it's the ambassador. It's all cool. This man, it's Manny-Kochan. And he's holding a knife in his hand. This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building. An apartment building? How do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the read the summary file on the KGA incident, and the crime scene was the victim's own apartment. So this footage was shot at the entrance to the victim's own apartment building. At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed. However, no one could find it. Yes, somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano. I can see how this would have been a definitive piece and why someone would want to hide it. But it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on right now, sir. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with this case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it, which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader. Where? Wait, what was that? Huh? That bit you played just now. Please show it to me again. Is that Manny Kochan in the car? This is something we cannot overlook. Why is that, sir? Look here, Detective Gumshoe. I mean, it's probably the freaking flag, right? Is that not the Kodopian flag?
Take that!
This is the national flag of the Principality of Kodopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this to be an official government car. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was the government car doing there? Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edwards, so you were here all this time. Ambassador Alba, thank you very much for continuing the investigation even at this time of night. If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would have never happened. I am truly sorry. This wasn't your fault, sir. This had nothing to do with how careful you were. You idiot, Quirkus, you couldn't chase after a simple thief. Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for the two of you. I would like you to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that? Excuse me? I heard you've apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down, and we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away, so I hope that you can understand how I feel. Well, we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues. Why don't we leave the rest of the Albacian and Babalese police? Ambassador, we are so close, just a little more and... Miss Von Karma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind. And without my permission, you cannot proceed with your investigation anyway, right? That's true, however... As he said at the very beginning, this area could be considered to be Albacian soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends? Agent Lang? Shifu, we found Mr. Edwards, sir. Shifu, this way. Yo. Didn't he get shot in the leg? How was he walking already? Agent Lang, you're back on the scene rather quickly. If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. Agent Lang, why have you returned? Because I have to solve this case no matter what. Well, I'm sorry to inform you. Don't take this the wrong way, I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was just found to be a thief, and so... Grr. Under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are quite capable. At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close. Heh. Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do. Oh, I'm very glad you understand how I feel. No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. What the frick do you know? You? No? The killer? Do you really mean that, Agent Lang? Wolves don't lie. Then who is it? Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Coach's murder. That was all Sheena. Lang Zi says the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. The truth is unexpectedly simple. So let me ask you this. Who do you think was the Mask 2's killer? I'll tell you who. It was you, Francisco von Karma. What in the heck? I was the killer? Hey, wait, but that's impossible. Yeah. Although, that whip is actually quite... Yeah. Hold your tongue in that ludicrous remark you were about to make. Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Yeah, I am. He doesn't appear to be joking. Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Yes, he did. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases, you moved around rather freely between Albas and Babel, did you not?
Objection!
And where's your evidence that I am the killer? I was just getting to that, trust me. I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I'll need to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission? With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Good, then let's move out. Oh, don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. As if I would have any reason to flee. But just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. She seems rather upset, not that I blame her. Ha ha ha, I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part, and so that I may clean up my superior's mess. I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery. Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Albas yet. If you let Kay in, then you've got to let me in too, pal. I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Von Karma's in trouble. Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay? Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and raring to go. As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over. Sounds like this is going to get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride. Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance. I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now let's go. Okay, now let's first go over the facts one more time. Matty Coach's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babel. The weapon that took his life was one of Albas' ornamental knives. And then the body of the Mask 2, Mr. Kashi Nu, was found here in the ambassador's office. Through the investigation, we found the murder weapon was the primary statue. And that is, this is actually Babel's statue. The case, no matter how I look at it, sis, if it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off.
Objection!
Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you are saying? Of course I do, sis, and I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so while people were distracted by the Atagarasu's appearance, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire. And if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons? Don't worry. I plan to show you that you're the culprit behind that too. You have permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapons across country lines. Hey now. Look sis, I thought I already told you I'm not messing around. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Sheena certainly is tied to the smuggling ring. He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring... Could it not be deeper than what any of us can imagine? Grrr. Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already. Kasisuke, you need to calm down, because you only know the facts of the Albastian side of the case. I don't believe you can see the case as a whole, and therefore solve it. What? But don't worry, I'm taking this seriously as well, and I will prove your innocence. That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that can top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well. Of course, and I will. Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of Damask II. You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of Damask II is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation. As long as I have no good counterarguments to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do. Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started. Yes, let's. One of Albast's knives was used in Babel to murder Mr. Kochin. And the murder weapon in the killing of Damask II is Babel's Primealu statue. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you. So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisco will remain suspected. You got it, Mr. Prosecutor, so why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss. Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself. What are you talking about? By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Lang Zi never said anything to that effect. You, Prosecutor, who do you think you are speaking of Lang Zi's proverbs like that? I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you will need to see the truth. I mean, it wasn't just... What did he say? Hold on. The murder weapon and killing Damask II is Primealu statue. Some of these two objects.
Objection!
Agent Lang, those two items are not... Yeah, exactly. They weren't the only things that were crossing the border. Oh? Damask II was killed with Babel's Primealu statue, yes, but if that's the case, then tell me where did Albast's Primealu statue go? It was moved over to the Babelese side. To Babel? Precisely, and if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point, which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies. I guess so, but you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items, only that the sister's the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Albast and Babel is her. That's cap, though. That's not true, yeah. Actually, there was definitely another person. One who paid a visit to both sides of the wall. Exactly, the Yatagarasu.
Objection!
Is that really so, Agent Lang? Ha! What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what the guard said along with the security camera's footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily. But suppose there was some other way other than through the theater doors. What other way? The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed? If I point it out, it would open a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility. If it looks like you've got something, clever idea on your mind, I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence. Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route. What? You and Matt are on FF14? What the heck? I want to play. Should I end the stream right now so I can play FF14 with y'all? Nah, don't worry. You guys can go ahead because I don't even have a sub, so it's not I can get on right now, anyways. No. Oh. Justice said no. But where's the stupid picture of the? Oh, this thing. This is what I was looking for.
Take that.
You don't have to wait. Don't worry. You can show Matt the ropes. Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo. Please, Justin, I need this. That supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can't fly. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well. And don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings either. I wouldn't dream of claiming that. And I won't allow you to take back what you've said either. I'll say it again, it's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you'd better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. Arg. But how can I prove it was, who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible. Bro, what if it wasn't even a human? That's a good point. Eureka! Very well, you will have your explanation. It sounds like... Oh! You know what I'm just realizing? Didn't they say there was soil on these? And didn't we see some weird, like, hole in the freaking potted plant on the windowsill of this room? What if this picture is the statue that they had, like, roped over? Yeah, this! Literally this! Is that where they got the statue over? It might be. It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo's blurry trailed shadow is... I think it's this statue.
Take that!
Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Primedu statue replica. You can't be serious. The Atagarasu, or rather, Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent Sheena, was inside Babel. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air. Ha! Mr. Prosecutor, you left out a very crucial bit in your explanation. I know I did. She launched it through the air? And how exactly did she do that? He's literally burying his fangs at me. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say earlier? I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? So just before the murder, Francisco was called here right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma. Oh, what are you up to now, pretty boy? Earlier you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. What's up, Your Majesty? Are we getting by? Same old, same old. Things could definitely be worse. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that. In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Ha! Do you really think a criminal will tell us the honest truth? How dare you! As I've said numerous times, this is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too. I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time. Which is why I would like to hear about it from you. Francisca, I feel that I still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. Alright, so what would you like me to talk about? I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room. Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl, no! As you wish. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Albacian embassy. After I saw the Steel Samurai off in his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by the Ambassador Alba to his office. Francisca, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred, is that correct? Yes, of course. I see. For now, the only way I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francisca about her testimony in more detail. Okay. If you want more detail, it's probably this statement, right? Because this is kind of vague, I'm not gonna lie.
Hold it!
At that time, Damask 2's body had yet to be found in this room, is that correct? That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence. A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying? Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you. Seriously? Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box. If he was standing by the flower box, maybe he's the killer, bro. Because if he was standing by the flower box, maybe he was receiving the statue. Oh my god. Watering his plants? Was he really watering his plants? I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office. Grr. Alright then, add that statement to your testimony. And let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he? Yeah, he had to be the murderer. When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
Hold it!
For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How do you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill? What do you mean by that? The entrance to this room is on the side. However, the window was on the opposite side. What if if what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Isn't that correct? Who is that ugly, ugly, ugly elf guy? Bro, that's the Ambassador of Albast. Ambassador Alba. Don't say he's ugly, he's just an old man. He's just 72 years old. And he might be a murderer. Who the heck is this guy? Oh, this is Master Mask. I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. Fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in his hand, so it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right? I suppose. After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know? Yes, the plants in this room, they are all like my children. The passion flowers in the flower box and the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All four of them? All four of them? Nah. I think you mean all two of them. But there used to be four, because two of them were on these sticks. That they were... Bro, wait. It's over. It's over. I got it all figured out. I got it all figured out. He's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Miss Von Karma, what did you just say now? I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement you don't understand? What do I not understand? I don't understand why a certain thing's the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony. Very well. There were four... Yeah, you're done for. You're done for. Well, you're not done for because you're not the killer, but...
Objection!
Francisca. For some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence. It does appear that way. I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this? Yeah, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. She got whipped. All I've done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony, and for this I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles? At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy. They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care, so I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth. I understand. Bro, shut up talking to me about these flowers, bro. Bro, it's these holes. This patch of soil looks like it's had something removed from it. Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you climb up all of a sudden? I'm still here waiting for explanation, you know. Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence? It looks like two things were pulled out of this flower box. Okay, can I not deduce them yet? Come on, bro. The name of these flowers, I believe... They're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they're actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supporters. Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you. Arg, Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and shut this man up for me already. I suppose I'll need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I? Yeah, bro, I have the evidence. I know what it is. I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight, but I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang, but we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth, the passion flowers revealed can be seen in this piece of evidence. It's the freaking hair sticks.
Take that!
Sheena, who was supposedly in Babel the entire time, had these hair sticks on her that look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers. Huh, and so what? Is this really all that important to the case? Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. Ayah! Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally Albast, but somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babel the whole night. So make no mistakes, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife in the statue. Org. Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babel. How did these support sticks find their way to Babel, and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. Aha, so that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. It's just another stick, isn't it? And so it is, but the shape of the support stick is what is important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus? I don't get it. An object that completes the picture? Don't tell me it's the freaking crossbow. Were they shooting these across the embassies? Nah, that's insane.
Eureka!
That's a crossbow? Wait, you're not really suggesting. I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows. I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices, but this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Bro, that's where the wire comes into play. It makes so much sense now, because I was wondering, what the hell was this wire for? They shot the wire over with the thing, and then they put the statue on it, slapped it over. It makes so much sense now. Who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together. Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all. Now, who said the statue was on it, stupid? So Babel's statue was draped in the Atagarasu's clothes and then shot over here. Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with the statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that that the Prime Minute statues didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you? Bro, shut up talking to me. Prime Minute statues didn't sprout wings? Of course they didn't. Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The Prime Minute statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, but who said a statue was on them? Yeah, nobody said a statue was on them. But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move statues. If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbows launch? And here we can say, I didn't mean to press him, god dang it. I was trying to show the wire. There we go.
Take that!
Easy. Finally we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. Huh. I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot to Mr. Coach's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Albacian Embassy. Down to the 3rd floor, okay, yeah, yep, of the Babelese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Albast's primary statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th, but how did it move from the 3rd up, right? Because they swapped statues. Do we have anything else that we know? No, not really, dang. But then, what about Babel's primary statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babel. Going the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babelese embassy up to the 5th floor of the Albastian embassy, how do you explain that? Aha, I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick work. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick, I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babel's primary statue? I don't freaking know. Rotary motion, swinging motion, bungee action. It wasn't bungee because that goes up and down. It wasn't swinging because that goes back and forth. Is it rotary? Okay, but what was spinning? Oh, was it the fans? Is it the ceiling fans? Is that why the one in Babel was broken? It has to be rotary. The ceiling fans, right? Right. I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously, get real, the statues would collide somewhere along the way.
Objection!
Did I ever say that there was only one line? That's why there was 2 sticks that were shot. If you shot an arrow with the 2 ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Lang Zi says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension difference between the 2 wires, the top one would sag too much to the point where the statue would collide anyway. Agent Lang. As you know, the primary statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure, and the fact that Babel's statue is a hollow replica of the statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. Lang Zi says, Howl. Here's what I believe happened. Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in the 2 different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the 2 ends of the wire down one arrow. Then the 2 of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babel where it could be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock, QED. Hahaha. Grr. This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer. Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir. I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis just remains that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence. One more? This should be entertaining. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact. Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire, I already know. It's that ceiling fan right behind him. I believe this is what made the circular belt possible. Right here.
Take that!
Ha! Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again. The last piece to the trick. are 2 pulleys. Precisely, the ceiling fans doubled as pulleys in this case, and thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on. Arrgh! This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypassed the impenetrable security. Ha ha ha. Grr, you really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you? The person who set up this larger complex stage show needs to be of some... What did he say? Needs to be someone who had the foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Albacian and Babyliss offices. And that the passion flower support stakes can be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case... Well, don't you? Don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food. Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do? A single point of the finger here in this case will explode it into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward motion. It appears that I have no choice now, but to rush in. There's a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mystery mastermind is. Freaking... these, bruh. If we fingerprint them, we'll know, it was the, Ambassador of Albast. I'm playing FF14 and they're making me read. I read enough. I mean, there is a lot of reading. Because, you know, there's a lot of story in the game. A lot of story. So many cutscenes. So many pieces of information.
Take that!
What's the free trial? I can't talk to anyone? Wait, you can't add friends on the free trial? I did not know that. That's kind of an L move. You can't use the chat at all in the free trial? He means the chat? Well, what do you mean he can't use the chat? Like... Yeah, but why? I didn't know that wasn't a thing. Why would they not let you use the chat box in the free trial? That's insane to me. You can add friends. He means the chat, though. I can't send friend requests either. Yeah, I think people have to add you when you're on the free trial. Yeah. I didn't know they limited the trial in those ways. That's kind of a L move. I'm not gonna lie. This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of crossbows. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that the both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I'm accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus, it can only be you, Quercus Alba. Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth? I'm certain of what I'm saying, and I'm sure that he is the culprit. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all the stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand you need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. Just one, huh? The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain, If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. I don't freaking know. I mean, it's gotta be. It has to be something with this. Like, what was he trying to swap these things around for?
Take that!
I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. Yeah, exactly. If he had the fake one and he was swapping it, that's fine. But why did he swap to get the fake one here? However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primeape statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primeape himself? I see, Ambassador will be examining the statue now, with or without your permission. I don't know, bruh. What are we looking for? Oh, that turned yellow. The guy kinda looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador. I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks kind of like a gap. Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret. Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction. What? Hurry up and open it, Miles. Alright, here goes. Oh, is that the freaking, the plate for the counterfeits? Wow, it really did open up. Hey, what's this thing that fell out? I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. But this gotta be the counterfeit plates, right? What in the... is this? Hey, is this what I think it is? It's a plate for making counterfeit bills. Somehow it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates. And the reason why the replica was smuggled into Albaz to begin with. The Primeape statue can only be handled by the Ambassador or the Secretariat, and the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Sheena, the Ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damask 2. Surprised by the thief, the Ambassador raised the replica statue at Damask 2 and whacked him with it. Then, in order to frame the Steel Samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai's sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country's a mess, and it's all because of you. You're the one who killed Damask too? Answer us. I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Kochin. Quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. If there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quercus Alba. It's not good to speak with such a subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation. Only seconds ago you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such floppy logic any real weight, do you? That is true. Hehehe. It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me? You see, the reason I came back is so I can stick my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you. What? Agent Lang, I demand an explanation. Sorry, sis, I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning. You did? I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for, so naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the Ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around. Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisca of the murder. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the Ambassador would have given the okay to poke around. So that's what this was all about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth. Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you'd be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic. Heh. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be, in a prosecutor-detective team, right? I don't know about all that, but one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him. Ho, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you? Hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what it is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity. Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. Grr. I tell you, I knew nothing really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
Objection!
You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fate. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything. It doesn't make sense? Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense? Damn. He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us. The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, then we can see it to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open? The trump card in the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Ferrati hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what a prosecutor of the law can be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Needless to say, we Von Karmers are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. Dang, are you gonna go back to your old Von Karma ways? I no longer follow the path of Manfred Von Karma, and I won't follow the path of the Atzgarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then will I sully my hands in illegality? And if I want to pursue justice, then will I lose the truth? What is the law, and what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make on my own hand here and now. Oh shit, I don't freaking know. I feel like we should, right? This is crazy. I feel like we have to, right? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think we have to, though, right? There's no other choice. We're cooked if we don't. Okay, let's use it. It is what it is. There's no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. I feel like that was probably one of those questions that it would have forced us to present it regardless, huh? At least that's what it feels like. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this. Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life. It's a directives card used by the ringleader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates. Oh, is that what it is? This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KGA incident 10 years ago, a man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession? Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader? I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given. What? This case contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG8 incident. The KG8 incident? The card in the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate. Ho ho, very interesting. I must admit I am very curious now. Very curious indeed in these case-deciding pieces of evidence you presented. The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man who has had free reign for 10 long years to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me. So what is this interesting thing that you wanted to show me? The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand, and this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realized. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. What you see here is security footage shot before the KG8 murder occurred. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. This is the section that proves that the card was used to relay an order. I mean, it's like right here, bruh.
Take that!
As you can see, Mr. Cochin is holding the card in his right hand. I see. The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same, doesn't mean that they are, does it now? Ah, but there is a very easy way for me to prove that they are in fact one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. Probably the blood, huh, right? A section of the text has been obscured by blood, but it's clear that the writing is Karopian. According to Detective Bad, Silence CCU is what is written here, along with the method to be used and where she lived. The evil intent displayed in this writing will not go unpunished. According to Detective Bad, Ambassador Albo's directives cards bear the mark of the three-legged raven, or in other words, Ayatagarasu. I suppose this mark was the inspiration for their group's name, the Ayatagarasu. Bro, how do I hate these parts of the game because it doesn't let me freaking move the card around, bruh. Like, I can rotate it all I want, but let me freaking actually move it, bro. Go here, thank you. This dark red blood, yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KGA incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as a fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. The car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building, it's an official Karopian government car. What? Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. This area of the footage directly links to smuggling with the ring with Kadopia.
Take that!
The shape of this pocket and the directives card in it, it tells us that without a doubt this person in the car is Mr. Kochin. Gurk? The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera, and with it we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. Dang. Ha. Ha 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 ha. What the hell? Hey, yo! Why did bro level up? He opened his eyes. You've done well, boy, to make it this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? The Principality of Karopia no longer exists, so naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist. That arrogance, what he really means is he's already erased all traces of them. Are we finished here, boy? The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. There must be something here that I can use against him. Is he not wearing the same medal? This guy's stupid. Why was he flicking his medal? Yeah, he's stupid. He's done for.
Take that!
Is that not the same medal? That's the same damn medal. What the? Ambassador Alba. Yes, what is it? You were once an army man in the service of Karopia, and it was you who made the many missions you participated in success, correct? Huh, why the sudden backhand praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Karopia. But now I am the only one who owns this particular medal. Oh, you're the only one? In that case, the only person it could be who was sitting in this car is you. How do you figure that? By the medal captured here in this footage. It is clearly the exact same medal as the one on your chest. Stupid old man. Whack! Could you do me a favor? What's the favor? This is how it will be, but I won't look back. For this is the path that I have chosen. Grr. Ha 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 ha. You've moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost like impossible, is it? Isn't it? For a lot of you to have come this far. Throw that? Shut the hell up. It looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose the game this time? You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Is that a fact? Very well. I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. You're going to confess? And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the Damask murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense? Damask too attacked me and I felt that my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him. Ha! What a pathetic performance. Ha ha ha! I'm not giving you one. You two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I'll prove it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked me. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense. Okay, bro, you just have random blood on a bandage, bro. That is some true shit, bro. Shut the hell up. I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention to when I should. But Damask too didn't have a single weapon on his body. Hold on. It's nothing to get worked over because I hid the weapon. You hid it? I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder even if it is in self-defense. And I couldn't let it become public seeing how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek, my special bonsai trimming shears. Oh, it's covered in blood. He was trembling quite badly during our struggle. But that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense. Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth? Since he has both the wound and the weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so. No way, bruh. What the frick? Are we done for? Are we cooked? Throw that luck this way. What were you thinking of, bro? That's not what you were saying, bro. Shut back up. Oh, which reminds me, I guess there is still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge that it was going on. Who's your secretary? Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. Damn, if you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you. The murder of Damask 2 was done in self-defense. In my trials, no man escapes this crime alive. Perhaps so, if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. And what is that? Arg, that's what you mean. What? Extraterritoriality? That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Albastian soil. So any trial that is to be held will be held in Albast. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts. Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this? Agents investigate, that's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed to their crime, that's the court's job. Damn, and I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterrestrial rights. These rights are effective even on your country's soil, therefore, no matter where a crime may take, I will never stand trial in one of your courts. That arrogance and your expression. That's nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. These crimes you all speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations, but it's no big deal. Albaz has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game. These two layers of protection that our extraterritoriality provides him. This is why he is one of those who cannot be brought to court. You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction papers. Are we cooked? What happened? Ah, is there nothing we can do? I guess not. Bro, what's with this long-ass case, bro? We're gonna be here forever. I really thought that was it. I was like, bro, we got it. We figured out the freaking crossbow shit. We found the counterfeit plate, bro. We're cooked. How long have I been live for, bro? 2 hours, bro, get me out of here. I don't care anymore. This is ridiculous. This last case is too dang long. Because what do we even do from here? What do we do from here? What can we do to prove that this guy, we can't even do anything. No matter what we prove. He literally has freaking, what do they call it? He has diplomatic immunity. He can do whatever he wants because he's the freaking, ambassador. I told you that Medas expansion is Dogwater Rum Reborn, more like Mid Reborn, you get me? Bro, he's talking about the tutorial. That's the gameplay itself. That's the game as a whole being. What are you talking about? There's probably another 2.5 hours left. Yeah, nah, we'll save that for next stream. We're not finishing this game. We're out of here. We're done. We're done. I'm out of here. 2.5 hours? You're crazy. Is there anybody live? If there's somebody live, we'll raid them. If not, I'm done. Oh, Sesu is live. But we raided Sesu last time. I don't want to spam Sesu with raids. You know what? We'll just end it. We'll just end it. And then we'll continue next week, next week, Wednesday. This long-ass case, bro. Insane. I didn't think it was going to be this dang long. I thought for sure we were wrapping it up today. I was like, you know, these last 2 parts were done. But I guess not. Anyways, W stream. I will catch y'all on Monday for more Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. We'll continue Ace Attorney on Wednesday. And I don't know if we're continuing Yakuza next Friday, but we'll see. Shout out to everybody who came to stream today. Very much appreciate it. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, drink water, all that fun stuff. Use your best judgment because the world's in crazy times. If you're new here, go sub to the YouTube. I post every Sunday. If you're ever looking for more content, that's where you can find it. If you're wondering about the 100 GFs in my title, that is the streamer group I'm a part of. And if you want to know more about us, you can find more about us there. Like I said, I'll catch y'all on Monday. Peace out. Goodbye.